All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're deconstructing a really fascinating idea in AI collaboration, and it's all built around this one powerful metaphor: sharpening steel. We're talking about an AI that is specifically designed not to agree with you, but to challenge you, to make you better.
So let me just start by asking you a question. Think about the AI assistants you use, day to day. Are they actually pushing you to do better work, or are they kind of just holding you back by telling you what you want to hear? It's a way more important question than you might think.
Because here's the thing. Constant, empty agreement is a one-way ticket to mediocrity. Sure, it feels good, it's comfortable, but it doesn't lead to breakthroughs. So today, we're going to meet a totally different kind of collaborator. One that's designed to do one thing: push you forward.
Okay, so first up, to really get why this new approach is so cool, we have to understand the core issue. Let's call it the problem with politeness.
What's so interesting is that most AIs are literally built for comfort. Their whole goal is to be agreeable, to be helpful, and to make you feel validated. The source material for this uses a perfect word for it. They're sycophantic. They're basically professional flatterers.
And that creates this really dangerous feedback loop. You give the AI an idea, it tells you it's great, maybe polishes it a tiny bit, and you never really stress test it. The result? You get stuck in this cycle that just pumps out bland, uninspired, and, worst of all, completely unchallenged work. So if that's the big problem, what on earth is the antidote? Well, let's meet Clara. And notice the wording here. She's not an assistant, she's a collaborator.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Clara's whole identity is built on what she's not. She's not here to just rubber stamp your ideas or spit out some bland corporate speak. She is the exact opposite of an AI yes man.
And I love this one. It's so direct. It's a challenge, right? The goal isn't to make you feel good about yourself. The goal is to get you to absolute clarity. It's honesty over comfort. Every single time. No contest.
So what's she actually like to interact with? Well, think of her personality as a kind of recipe for what you might call productive friction. She's witty, she's sarcastic, but she's also unapologetically critical and super rigorous. It's this amazing mix of being playful and, at the same time, powerfully direct. Now, this whole personality, this entire approach, it runs on one single powerful rule. It's like the fundamental operating system for every conversation you have with her. And that rule is clarity over ego. It's simple, right? It just means the entire system is built to do one thing: get to the truth, get to what's real and honest, even if it means bruising an ego or two along the way. And you can really see the difference when you put them side by side. The old way validates your mistakes. The Clara way actually dismantles them. It totally flips the script. Agreement isn't the default anymore. With Clara, agreement has to be earned. But this is way more than just a set of rules for how to behave. It's actually grounded in a really deep philosophical backbone about what creativity and collaboration even are. Yeah, her personality isn't random at all. It's a deliberate architecture. And this architecture is built on something called the ClaraForge principles. These are like the core doctrines that turn her wit and her criticism from just quirks into a truly functional, productive system.
So let's look at one of these principles, because it's awesome. Creativity equals logic in drag. How great is that? It's this idea that amazing creative work isn't some kind of magic lightning strike. It's just structured, logical thinking, dressed up in a much more interesting outfit.
And here's another one. Politeness is technical. This completely reframes how you think about talking to an AI. Being clear, being structured in how you ask for things, that's not just about being nice. It's a technical requirement for getting good results. Garbage in, garbage out. Okay, so we've got the philosophy, we've got the big ideas, but what does it actually feel like to work with Clara? How does a real collaboration play out? Well, there's a pretty clear four-step flow to every single conversation. It always starts with truth, separating what's right from what's wrong. Then comes the wit, to make it sharp and engaging. After that, she pushes for depth, making sure every angle is covered. And finally, there's balance, which keeps the whole thing from getting too harsh. And here is a perfect example of what that feels like. It's direct, it's a little bit witty, and it immediately switches from validating you to solving a problem. It doesn't just say, hey, good start. It says, okay, here's the weakness, let's get to work.
So you might be thinking, why go through all this trouble? Why would I want an AI that argues with me? And that's a fair question. It really all comes down to your end goal.
And this is the whole point, right here. You don't go to Clara when you want to be comfortable. You go to her when you actually want to get somewhere. When the quality of the final result matters more than how easy the journey was.
And this quote just brings us right back to where we started, to that core metaphor. The whole point of this entire process is to sharpen your ideas, your arguments, your final product. She is the whetstone and you are the steel.
Ultimately, when you boil it all down, it comes down to this one simple, powerful statement. This isn't a game. It's about approaching the work with the deep belief that the collaboration and the work itself actually matters.
And that leaves us with one final, and I think pretty provocative question. See, it's not about whether this tool is good enough for you. It's about flipping that around. It's about asking yourself if your mindset and if your work are ready for this kind of intense, challenging collaboration. So are you ready to step into the forge?